Welcome back to the Fast Lane Lifestyle, and I am Alyshia Powell.
And I'm Asafa Powell.
That's it. Not adding any more like Sub 10 King.
The
and,
vibes man, the vibes master.
I mean,
The
that's
sub 10 king for sure.
And what am I?
The
What am I?
beauty queen. I'm the sub 10 king. You're the beauty queen. And the better half.
You're full of compliments.
The
I
better
love that.
half.
I am learning to receive compliments. So thank you, babe.
Yeah, for sure. Because whenever I tell you something, you don't believe until somebody else tell you, because you believe it's my duty to tell you that you're beautiful. Like, I'm going to always tell that you're beautiful, even when you're not at your best.
I mean, I think yes and no, but it's just something that I'm learning to accept. I think I just feel uncomfortable with compliments. So I'm learning to accept that. And then again, I'm like I said, I think you're definitely going to tell me like, oh,
just take all of my compliments because I mean them.
Okay, got
They're
it.
real compliments.
I receive it.
You know
I feel
what I mean?
like this, Fela Kuti shirt you're wearing and everything is
The
really
vibe,
giving you a vibe.
African vibe, you know what I mean? Like, I think, I start, accepting a lot more of my African, the African culture when I got married to you.
That's true.
I start doing more research, and I realized that, I'm half Ghanaian and half Nigerian. So,
I mean, yeah,
and
that's
this shirt
a
was a
fact.
gift. This shirt was a gift,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
And I got it like 2 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
About 2 years ago, and the first time I'm wearing it.
You look good.
It's a vibe. Yeah,
We can get
vibe.
married again.
Baby vibe.
No. Swerve on that. We're good.
No, baby
vibe.
vibe.
This body is just slowly,
African Mandingo.
Oh God, that was awkward. So I was having a conversation with our guest, when I met Cortia, the lovely and amazing. Ever since I met her, I've just been like, like nonstop,
Trouble. Ever since you met Cortia, you've been nonstop talking about oh my God, I didn't know, girls like this existed in Jamaica and all these things, and I'm worried now.
No, I mean, it's refreshing. It's also like she's inspiring, she just being in her environment and her vibe, it just forces me to even be better, and own who I am. I don't need to like blend in. I think sometimes I felt like being in an atmosphere that was so unfamiliar that I tried everything not to stand out. Like I just would try everything just to blend in. So they don't talk about me. So, they don't put me out here. So, I mean, hearing her story and being around her, it's like own who you are and just keep pushing forward with life.
Yeah. I think for you as well, it was refreshing not to be around the Instagram girls, because what you've been seeing and the girl, whoever you've been coming in contact with, are more like Instagram people who they live them life through Instagram.
Right.
So when you met somebody who is real, who
I mean, in tune with reality.
Strong, but strong. They're very strong about life,
and she's
and
impactful.
What they want.
It's a lot of crashing happening around.
Yeah, they're very So
yeah.
I get that, and I, like I say, I was explaining that to her husband earlier on, that I met her many years ago. We didn't really spoke a lot, but that's what I got from her.
Right.
She wasn't that girl to just try and, you know what I mean?
Say it how you want to say it.
Yeah, she's not the girl to try and about that vibe.
Exactly. Yeah. She is that vibe, just a whole vibe. And I think it's also important for us women to give each other our flowers and our respect. If you do that, it doesn't mean that, you have to put yourself down. It's just recognizing that you're an amazing woman. And the more we compliment each other is the more there's less animosity, I feel, because there's greatness in all of us. And being around someone will force you to bring out that greatness in you, So anyway, stop beating around the bush. Let me get to the question. She asked, I mean, it's no secret that, you were really like living the life.
Ooh.
You.
Moi?
The lifestyle, sub 10, former world record holder, international. It's international because I was all the way in Toronto running track, and I hear about your lifestyle. What made you? Why did you choose when you met me? I mean, I don't think it was instantly that made you say like, oh, I'm going to settle down, because you always said you never pictured yourself as somebody
Mm-hmm.
that would settle
Mm-hmm.
down. So big question mark. Why? Like, why me? What was so different? Maybe someone listening that's, a young man listening to you talk, like someone that came from this really so they used to call him Chippy in his single days. Chippy lifestyle.
Wow, wow.
And seeing that you can grow from that
mm,
might enlighten them and like what to look for, and
mm.
et cetera. Yeah.
uh Man, this one, never saw this one coming. But um I didn't see anything coming
Right.
actually, because I was just, living life in the fast lane, and um when I started talking to you, like, I mean, I was just still living life in the
Mm-hmm.
fast lane,
Mm-hmm.
and talking to you, doing whatever, going about my business as usual.
Yes.
And when I met you,
Mm-hmm.
I think when I met you, and you know, I'm going to be repeating myself a lot, but when I met you and starting to know you, I was still living life in the fast lane.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna
You
be
know,
honest and
yeah,
open about
yeah, I was
that.
still living life, that
Mm-hmm.
type of lifestyle. And then I remember an incident happened, and I had to make a choice. I had to make a choice. I remember that it was Valentine's, around Valentine's
Mm-hmm.
time. Something happened, and I had to make a choice, and I chose you. And I was like,
Why did you
there's
choose me?
I mean, I felt something different
Okay.
with you. A lot of things about you, kind of. When men always say, and people always say, "Yo, men choose women who kind of remind them of their mothers."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think there are some things about you that kind of reminded me, of my mom, in a sense. When the way how you took care of me, like the first time I met you, came to Jamaica, like you wasn't trying to prove anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're just being yourself. You came around, and you took charge, in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of women can't even spread a bed, them can't cook, them can't do this, them can't do that. But you came around, and like it just fall into place, and I'm like, whoa, this is, this, I mean, women do that, but there are certain things that were different about you and how you carry yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it a lot of things were natural,
Mm-hmm.
because being around you felt the first. Remember when I came to the airport,
Yeah.
and I pick you up at the airport, it felt like I was picking you up like for the 10th time.
Yeah, because I think to me is I'm never phased by I mean, I said it with all due respect with what you've accomplished. I think, when you take away the fact that a lot of people get like starstruck or,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, he's deciding to be
Mhm.
like a certain way and this and that. To me it was like I always said, remember we had this conversation and I was like, you're just giving me these dry talks.
Mhm.
Who is Asafa Powell off the
Mhm.
track? Like that's what I want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
know,
You didn't care about
Yeah.
the track things. You wanted to know about me.
Right.
And yeah, like even when I came to pick up at the airport, and my friend was like, "Yo, you know what she look?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, slim as man." I say, "Yeah, man, slim as man." And the minute you step out through those doors, like you just look different from everybody else. You stood out, and you came over, and I got out the car, and pick you up. And the minute you got in the car, it's like we've
Just
known.
vibe.
It's like I've known you for so long.
Mhm.
So I think everything just fall into place, and it was very natural. It was very organic.
Right.
There
So
was no pretending. No,
yeah.
no. I didn't feel like I have to like prove to you that yo, I'm a Asafa Powell and I have this, I have money, I have cars, I have house and all that stuff. I didn't feel like, and I think the day when we got to the house, I actually went downstairs to work on cars.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I was actually
He was
working
trying
on
to
the
show
cars
off, by the
because
way. Took his shirt off,
whenever
working
I
on the
show off
cars.
nothing,
All of
that's how I work. That's how I work on the cars. I sweat a lot.
And
I sweat
and
a lot.
mind you, like I remember going downstairs, and at the time you could say whatever to me in patois, and it would go through here
You
and come
couldn't
out. It was like a
understand nothing.
foreign language, and I was still like, I'm gonna go down there and chill with the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like I might not understand what they're saying, but like I'm not gonna feel intimidated by the fact that I don't
I
understand
just
it.
buy
But
on old Benz, you
yeah, and
remember?
he
The
was
old
doing the
Benz.
most, like.
I never had nothing, man. I just take off my shirt and I work on the car. That's why I just took off my shirt.
All right,
Usual,
sorry.
the usual. That's
Mm.
how I always remember. And the thing is, back in them days, almost every picture I post, I'm shirtless.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
I was shirtless, thirst trap,
Yeah,
right
you were.
through.
That's really what you were trying to do.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
thirst trap. I wasn't trying to do that. I
you
just,
were.
what I mean,
But
it was
anyway,
just, I was just a vibe. The abs them just all, you know what I mean? Binoculars, you not even need binoculars. You just look on the abs.
but also I think I think that I think I also helped you in terms of like communication, because I remember, I think that might be something too that's different. Like I remember telling you that if you're gonna message me, it needs to be a conversation that I'm learning about you, but as well as like if you're halfway across the world and I'm over here, communication is literally everything, right? And I remember you're like, I'm not really a phone guy. I'm not really a FaceTime type of guy. Well, if you really want and you're serious about this, no, if you're doing something casual, of course, you don't need to communicate on the phone. But I think I also let you know that's not what I'm looking for. When I quickly learned about that, you were, 1 foot in and, still enjoying the chippy lifestyle. We had to learn no, and the thing is, like, I find that you shouldn't feel uncomfortable. I mean, I don't need to know everything about your past, but I think being open and having certain conversations, you don't need to know I don't need to know everything. I don't at all. But in that moment, for us to build and for us to be able to move forward, there were certain things and certain boundaries that had to be in place. And I think there was one thing you said that was different about me as well, was when he would say, I think when you would say, "Oh, I want come see me," I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll just buy my own ticket." And I think for me, the reason, it's not like I had anything to prove. It's just like, what if he buys me my ticket and then, like I don't like him? And after then going to be like, can you change my flight? Like, at least I'm in control. Like I felt, and I think that was a little bit of the energy that I had to learn to undo sometimes, like that masculine energy where it's like, I would just, take the
Yeah,
lead.
the thing is, a lot of things just work out differently with you because I'm used to just buying tickets, for women. If somebody want to come see me, I buy a ticket. I do whatever. If I tired of you, I just say, yo.
Can you imagine?
You
That's
know
what
what I
I didn't
mean?
want.
Yeah. So I'm like, yo, there was a limit.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't be around somebody. The minute I'm around somebody for more than 2 days, I used to get tired of the person. And so I would normally book the ticket. I say, all right, 2 days, and that's it. The third day I have to leave. So that's how I used to live my life. And then when I remember you came and you booked your own ticket, and I remember like the third day, say you have to go back to work or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you have to go back to work. And I didn't want it to leave. I remember I didn't want it to leave. And then I was like, yo, you need to come back. And you came back, what, like 2 weeks after or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. 2 weeks
Like a
after.
week and a half.
And you
Remember
actually
with,
took
with
me
that,
to
with that.
what was it? It was like a public event, right? And
Yeah,
normally you
yeah,
don't do public events.
the World Championship celebration. Yeah, the World
Yeah.
Championship celebration. I don't normally do that. When I remember when I used to hang out with girls, I used to hang out with girls plus 5 friends. So nobody would know who the girl was with.
Right.
You know what I mean? So my friends would hang out with the girl. I would be over here. but yeah, the girl was with me, but not really with me.
Right. I
You know
think
what I
these
mean? So,
conversations are important, not to cut you off.
mm,
So as a woman, you're a learning game. So
mm,
if you find yourself in a similar situation,
sip,
now
sip,
read the room and you know.
sip, sip.
And if that's not what you want, make sure, adjust, reverse and
Mm.
take note of that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, it was. I was very private with whatever
I
I
mean, no,
was
there's a
doing.
difference between privacy and when someone is hiding you.
Yeah,
You
man,
have
man,
to,
hide.
there's
Yeah,
really
man,
like,
hide. Man, hide it in
yeah, so
privacy.
say that.
I did. I did it. You know. Yeah,
Yeah, and
man.
I guess more of the story is like when you know, you just know.
Mm,
And I mean, like ladies, it's possible for a man to change, but
mm.
don't think you can change him. Like he has to be willing to want
Yeah,
it.
because at one point in my life, I was very straightforward. Because I mean, people, I'm not trying to put down anybody or nothing, but it's just the way. Oh, it's just the truth about
Mhm.
things. I used to say, yo, I don't want anything, just want to hang out, whatever it is. And then you would have girls who accept
Mhm.
that and try to hang around, and in their minds they're going to change your mind at some
Right.
point in time,
Mhm.
which you as a man, you know so that not going to happen.
Right.
But in their minds, and then they would then tell their friends that, oh yeah, man, I'm seeing such and such person when that's how man get bad name. That's how me get bad name.
Oh, please. Oh gosh.
But that I mean that's just how it go.
Right. So
You know.
and then we end up hurting ourselves by thinking that, oh, I
Mm,
can change this man. And like to me, when you think you're gonna do that, you are blocking your blessing. Your husband could be out there searching for you, but he can't
mm.
find you
Don't
because
waste your
you're
time. Don't waste your
stuck
time.
on, I don't want to say stupid, but you're literally stuck on the fact that you're trying to impress this man that is not your person, and
Mm,
that's okay. We don't need to be on a time frame of, oh, by the age of this, I
mm,
need to be with this person or that person. He might not be an athlete, but he
mm,
might be your average working man and he might treat you awesome,
mm.
So just keep your mind open and
Yeah. Yeah, I
options
mean, and the
open,
thing
but
is,
setting boundaries.
I've met, decent girls. I've met good
Mm-hmm.
girls, but I was just not in that place at that time, and I don't. I mean, like people can be good people, nice people, wife material, but not
Mm-hmm.
your,
Your
not for you.
person. Right.
Yeah, not for you. It's
Exactly.
not your wife, not your wifey.
Right. And also
You know
know
what I
when
mean?
you're a placeholder. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, a man will keep you as a placeholder and,
Mm-hmm.
you realize 2 weeks from now he's just up and jump and got married. Don't be a placeholder as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. 'Cause I never see myself getting married, none at
No,
all.
and to me, like it's
We
still
used to
very
bet.
mind blowing.
Yeah, I used to bet with my friends. I'm like, yo, you go and get married before me because I will never get married.
And
I
okay.
lose that bet, but I didn't pay no money though. I lost big time,
I know
big
because
time.
you were like
Mm.
ready. And the funny thing is like you actually proposed like a year and a half like
Mm,
into our relationship. And it's funny, my best friend predicted it. She's like, he's gonna propose. I'm like, I don't
mm,
see that happening. No. I remember you being nervous and all, but
mm.
it's all right.
Who
But
nervous? Me? Never nervous.
really,
No.
okay. Anyway.
No, I remember, when we were at the restaurant, the restaurant was about to close and stuff, so we had to leave.
No. Now it's a different version. But yeah, no, you and one thing I liked and I appreciated that we did was the fact that after we got engaged, we took our time in getting married. Like I remember
Mm,
being like, I don't want to rush it because I still knew there was a lot of like growing pains we had to do together. So I need
mm.
these 2 years to really figure us out and make sure like this is gonna work. And
Yeah, I mean,
you're
have some loose
sure,
baggage too.
exactly, and you're sure
Mm,
that if you want me, you can't have, other Pringles in other directions. It just has
yeah.
to be me. And
Mm,
we took 2 years to get married. And in that moment, I
mm,
also think that helped you in
mm,
growing up as well. Like taking your time, don't rush the process of
mm.
things.
Yeah,
So
the thing is, what this is conversations that we would have
mhm.
in private, not on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of sound harsh, but we have to just get used to having these type of conversations. People really need to hear these things.
Mhm.
So whoever can, I mean, a lot of Jamaicans can't angle, you know, hearing these kind of conversations make it sound like you're putting women down or you're
Mm.
disrespecting people and stuff like that. But no, it's just reality of how
Mhm.
the world is.
Right.
There are not all women are like this, not all
Mhm.
men
Men
are
are
like
like that,
this,
yeah.
but these are the type of lifestyle that some men live,
Mhm.
some women live, and of course, us as athletes, as celebrities, we get sometimes we just pick and choose and do some stuff, and it's just idleness, and we live the life, but comes a time when that life gets boring, that
Mhm.
lifestyle get boring and you want to move on to something else. And I got bored of that.
Right.
Been there, done that. There wasn't for me. I didn't feel like there wasn't anything else for me to accomplish to achieve in that or accomplish or whatever the word is.
Mhm.
What I mean, I've done it all, and I just wanted to you know settle down. I mean, you made me want to settle down. I didn't get up one day and say, "Oh, I want to settle down."
Yeah.
It's when I met you and we vibe and use the word vibe. We like take a sip. But yeah,
Uh,
man, we you know
yeah.
we just work well with
Mhm.
for each other.
So would
You
you
know.
say to like someone that's in that phase of your quote unquote chippy lifestyle is to keep an open mind,
Mhm.
to keep an open mind in terms
Yeah, man.
of
Definitely, you have to keep an open mind because, like I said, I no, I really didn't see myself getting married. Like,
right.
I honestly can say I didn't see myself getting married. There's no way. Nobody could ever tell me, say, "Yo, Asafa, yeah, get married." Nobody
Mhm.
couldn't tell me that because life out the road too nice.
Right.
Life nice out the road. It nice, believe me. But but when you really sit down and you look back at it, it's just idleness. It's
Right.
just that's a lot of idleness. And it's like you don't you don't feel like you're accomplished. Like whenever you meet somebody and you're idle and do whatever, you don't afterwards you don't feel special.
Mm.
You just feel like a waste of time.
Mm. That's a word.
You know what I
We'll
mean?
let
You
that
just feel like a
settle.
waste of time. Like I still wake up and feel lonely.
Right. Empty. It doesn't
Yeah,
feel that void that
yeah. I mean, you wake up and
right. Let that simmer because I think that's something that can be a lot of
mm.
men can relate
Yeah,
to. Even a lot of women
you
can
can
relate to
sleep
that as
around,
well.
you can meet this person, whatever, meet that person, whatever. But at the end of the day,
Mhm.
when when you got your bed, you just feel lonely, bro.
Right.
Mm,
Yeah.
feel lonely.
How come you never asked me? So someone of your caliber, right? When you met me, I know now there's this whole thing going around of like, what does a woman bring to the table? You never really, like asked me that.
Ask you what you bring to the table?
Yeah, like
No,
to make sure you're
no.
sifting through to make sure I'm with you
What
for the right reasons. Or do you just think that you kind of got to know that by just the way I moved, by,
Mm,
sitting back and just watching who I am?
like I said, there are certain things where that a man will observe about a woman
Mm-hmm.
with when we started talking, um and the time come for us to meet each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was used to saying, all right, may I fly out this girl and do whatever, whatever. You were like, okay, tell me the dates you want me to come, and I will book a flight and I will do whatever, whatever, whatever. When you came to Jamaica and I remember the first time we actually went out, I felt something touching me on my leg. And when I went like this, it was you pushing. your credit card under the table. Remember you pushing a credit card on the table, giving me a credit card, and like you're saying, yo, use this to pay the bill.
Mm.
And I was like, what this girl doing? She don't know say I can do whatever. But like some simple stuff like that is like you don't come off as a grabber. You
Mhm.
are um you're a very independent person. You're a very caring person.
Right.
You don't come to just take. You come to give as well.
Right. I mean, I think to me, there's nothing wrong with when you're courting each other. If he's
Yeah.
doing for you, there's nothing
Mm-hmm.
wrong with you
And you could
also
have given
being
me the
like,
credit card
hey.
over the table. You could have said, yo, hold this, pay the bill. I make everybody see that you paying the bill, but you push under the table and you're like, yo, use this to pay
Right.
the bill. You know what I mean, so that shows respect as well, and it shows. I mean, and you did it. You did that like a number of times,
Mhm.
and I didn't say no. And say, all right, you want to pay the bill, all right. But it does show a different side of you, and a different side of women in general.
Right.
That
Right.
that not all women are like this. There are actual women who,
I'm trying
you
to
know,
figure out like what's going on right
yeah,
now.
some stuff going on the side. Me, I don't know what's going on. Mm,
I'm waiting. I'm waiting
mm,
on. I think we have to see something.
mm.
Okay, while we wait on that, what were you searching for in those women? And what would your advice be to women now in dating, like in the dating life?
I mean, no, no, that's what I'm saying. No. I wasn't searching for anything. It was just a good time.
That's
And
it?
no, the thing is, I remember, if men should talk about a lot of things, it will come off as gross and disgusting and
Mhm.
all that stuff. Because I remember back in the day, like, yeah, like you have men who would brag about how many women they sleep
Mhm.
with, or who they will go out and say, "Oh, I know that I sleep with her already," or whatever it is. Um, but for me, I wasn't looking for anything. It's
Did
just a good
you
time. If whenever we go out,
Mhm.
we just want a girl.
So did you think that you had to live that life because it came with who you are?
It was just not,
Like
it was just natural.
it's like a lifestyle
It
that
was
okay, I
just
have to do
natural, and it
this?
was just easy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was just easy. Like whenever I go out, it's just easy for me to say, yo, oh yeah, man, more on that girly.
Mm.
And then you get her, whatever. Next, and then you move on.
Mm.
Just move on. It's just move on to the next, to the next, to the next.
So
So it
what
wasn't it wasn't like there was no feelings whatsoever. It's just
mm.
fun. Just moving on to the next.
So what advice would you give to a young woman listening right now, or even just any at any age category that's
Hmm.
in dating now? Because I know you've heard my friends talk about how dating is so difficult and
Hmm.
like how to avoid, like if they want something serious, how to
Hmm.
avoid a man like Chippy.
Man, it's. I mean, sometimes it's hard to say the number of women who really want the advice, because
Mm.
a lot of women don't really
But
care.
some for
Yeah,
the
some, but
ones
there are
that
some,
do,
but there are
right?
some women who really need the advice. You know, but yeah, for those who need the
Mm-hmm.
advice, I mean, if you go, there are men who find love in at parties and club and
Of
stuff.
course.
Maybe the number's very small, but if you go to a party and you meet a man, 90% of the time it's just fun. You know what I mean? It's just fun. If you are a woman who,
Mm-hmm.
if you're looking for a man for love and all that stuff, I don't think in a club it's the hardest place to find it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because most of the men in club just there, just with them binoculars,
Mm-hmm.
just look for the next they call it patient.
But you know what I think is funny is like you literally come from a background of your parents being married, you're raised in a
Mm-hmm.
two parents household. what made you decide to go like literally left? Like you grew up on the right side and you
No, no,
just
no.
decided to just,
Ooh, I'm still on the right
choose.
side.
No, I mean, but before that, before that, you were,
Mm.
you totally decided to pick a different lifestyle. That's what I was saying. That did you feel like you had to because you're this big superstar? Like, was it something you felt like you had to do to impress others? I don't know what the mindset is, or were
And
you too sheltered growing up that you kind of.
um, I mean, I think it's a bit of both. Growing up, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about church, home,
Mm-hmm.
school, home, church, out the door, make box truck play, then repeat everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I knew. I didn't even know. It's only when I went to high school,
Mm-hmm.
I knew about Bounty Killer and Beanie Man.
Right.
I didn't know anything else but church, school, and yard, and play guitar and drums and all that stuff. All I knew was church.
Mm-hmm.
I know every song that I knew back then was all gospel music.
Right.
Everything. I didn't know nothing about dancehall. That wasn't on TV.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that was on TV was Santa Barbara, Days of Our Lives. I didn't get to watch those. Cricket,
Right.
cartoon, TV sign off. Then Sunday get Sunday matinee.
Right. And then fast
So there
forward.
wasn't so there wasn't anything on TV. I wasn't going anywhere to hear dancehall music. This was when I went to high school
Mm-hmm.
now, and my friend them start beat music on table and them I sing Bounty Killer and Beanie Man. That's the first time I start hearing about
Right.
dancehall. I didn't know anything about that. So I was very sheltered growing up. Um, when I went to university
Mm-hmm.
now, when I came to Kingston, that's
Yes.
when
You
all
just went
hell,
off the rails. It's like you just let the cat
man. Yeah, man.
loose.
And I think a lot of people need to prepare their kids for that.
Yeah.
If you're living in the country and if you're
Mm-hmm.
living a certain type of lifestyle, I think parents need to prepare their kids for that, because it was a drastic
Right.
change.
And then you became this big superstar like
Yeah, out of
overnight, and
nowhere. Like it
and
happened for me very, very fast. Like
right.
I got to Kingston 2002, and by 2003 I was, I was getting popular and stuff.
So I understand that, I understand, a lot of who we are sometimes it's like what we're seeing growing up, and then I understand the whole sheltered aspects, and then
Mm-hmm.
you want to like go out and have fun, and sometimes like a little too much fun. But when you make the comments of like you never seen yourself being married, I would expect that from someone that grew up in a one parent household. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't expect someone that grew up from your background.
No, I think no. Um, at that age, I think between the age when I know about girlfriend
Mhm.
to like 18, 19 years old, I think between that time period, the only thing you would think about getting married. For
18,
sure.
19?
No, for sure. You grow up
Okay.
seeing that. So it's like that's what that's what you would think
Mhm.
about if
Mhm.
you ever think about girlfriend or whatever it is.
Mhm.
But I think after um moving to Kingston, and then, out of nowhere I became this
Mhm.
big celebrity, and I realized, oh, because they say with fame, comes a lot of things.
Mhm.
So when everything start rolling my way, then my brain just start think different. I wasn't thinking about, marriage, because the people that you were meeting, you know, um,
Was
I
it just
mean,
transactional?
hmm?
Like everything was just a transaction?
I mean, I would say my first girlfriend, in of course, because when I before I got very popular,
Mhm.
yes, I had a girlfriend that
Mhm.
I was with, and
Right.
a vibe, and you think about marriage and all that
Tremendous
stuff.
vibe.
Yeah, you're vibing and you're thinking about marriage, and
Mhm.
then boom, out of nowhere, everything
Blow up
just
more.
changed. Just you got bigger and
You got
bigger,
bigger.
and you start living more life and start
So
seeing more and more.
overindulging in the lifestyle
Yeah.
made you would you say you kinda like lost a little bit of like your core value of who how you grew up. Like, I mean, fame does come with a lot, but it's also
Mm-hmm.
easy to lose yourself
Yeah, man.
in how you were brought up.
I would say so. I would say
Mm-hmm.
that. I take advantage of a lot of things.
Right.
Yeah. You have the fame, I
Yeah, I'm
use
glad
the
you said
fame
that.
to, yeah. For
Yeah.
sure.
Wow, I'm proud of you. You actually
Mm.
sat here. I remember when we first had with our first couple episodes of our podcast, and we were diving into conversations like this. He had to have his shades on. He was really
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable. I'm telling you, I'm loving this
Mm-hmm.
40-year-old
Mm-hmm.
man. I'm loving the 40s. Even though I've saved his name in my
Yeah,
contacts
man.
as my sugar daddy bae. Because I'm loving who he's becoming and
Yeah,
like
man. And the thing is, I remember I was sitting down with a athlete the other day, a young athlete, and I
mm-hmm,
was like, "Yo, bro, this woman and all them things are gonna come easy. So what you need to focus on now is training
mm-hmm,
and trying to get to that level because everything else will just come naturally.
right.
You know what I mean? Because you know, for me, I got to a point where, you know, I have to be turning down people. You know what I mean? I'll get on a flight attendant slip their number.
Mhm.
You go somewhere, go to a store, shop, they slip their number to you. Everywhere, like everything was so easy. So,
Mhm.
focus on training, focus on getting, you know, to the top,
Right.
getting being the best you can be. Because everything else will just come easy.
Mhm.
You can just turn no, you can just
Mhm.
say no, whatever.
Right.
So don't focus on women, no. Focus on
Yes.
you.
So that's brilliant advice, by the way.
Mhm.
What do you have my name saved as? And how long have you had my name saved like that?
Hmm? Your name is saved as Alicia Miller Powell in
No,
my
I think it's
phone.
just Powell.
Hmm?
Powell,
No,
Alicia
Alicia
Powell.
Powell.
But I think you had done that before we even got married,
Yeah.
that. I think even before you
Your
even
name was saved as
proposed.
Alicia Powell before
Yeah.
I got married.
Yeah.
Before we
Yeah.
got married.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, I just knew.
When you know, you know.
Yeah, I just knew. The vibe.
Yeah.
Where you have my name saved as no.
My sugar daddy babe. Because when you turn 40, like there's this new element, this new side of you that I thoroughly enjoy. Like you're a lot more vocal
Mm,
and you're unapologetic of who you are. You're
mm,
not you were a people pleaser before. You're
mm,
not that anymore. You have a voice of your own and you're
mm,
learning to set boundaries and say no. And I love this version of you. Like I
mm.
just love to see that.
Yeah,
And
because
and with 11-year difference, of course, I like older
and
men. My
that's one
older
of the
man here.
things. That's one of the things. Being with you, kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things. Um, you know, you when you came around, it's not like you were like, yo, why is that friend here? Why is that friend here? Like you were just fine with everybody. You were
Mhm.
good with everybody, and then I realized the friends starting to act different. And I have to think to myself, why are they acting different? And you were, what I mean, you're fine with, there were friends around me that were married and doing
Mm.
whatever,
Mhm.
and you were like, whatever. You didn't care. You didn't care.
I mean, it's not my
You
business.
know,
It's
what I
not
mean, it's
my
not
place.
exactly, it's not
Yeah.
your business. But then, you know, I realized my friends they didn't like you. I would say, yeah, they didn't like you and whatever. And mark you, these are friends that I've had around me for years.
Mhm.
Friends that I buy cars for them. I give them a credit card for go do whatever, go shop. I buy plane ticket. Everywhere I go in, I buy plane tickets for all of my friends. I don't leave. I don't go anywhere without them.
Mhm.
Know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like I said, buy cars, give them all of my cars to drive and stuff. But I don't know if they felt threatened because you came around. They felt like that lifestyle is going to be no more. They're going to be there no
I
more.
think they're just seeing
And
a change in you as well, because you naturally started to change. Like
mm,
there wasn't me, and then like the side and the desserts and this. It was slowly
mm,
like it was cutting down. So it's like the lifestyle that they were
lifestyle kind
used
of cut
to
down.
was changing. And when people are used to I mean, also sometimes like when you're used to a certain thing, it's like, why is that changing? That means she's gonna come here and all of this stuff is
Mm,
gonna be cut out. We're gonna have to leave, or maybe they thought I was gonna say, you have to get rid of them, but
mm,
that's just never really. I just really like mind my business, and um, just go with the flow. But I'm still very I watch who's around me, where I find that with you, you're just like all into things. So
mm,
I think it's like the change was really unfamiliar for them. Because
mm.
imagine you've been living this chippy
I
lifestyle and like
imagine
going
Chippy,
hard,
Chippy, Chippy was saying, I'm not going to get married.
Right, Chippy.
I'm
You
not
said,
going.
and that's the thing. It's like they took your word for it because it was
Mm,
like Chippy's not getting married, so we're just gonna, chip away
mm.
at life
Yeah,
together
man. And I
forever.
have friends who stopped talking to me now, and are trying to figure out what it was. I'm like, yo, like I tried to find the most stupid things
Yeah.
why they don't talk to them. I'm like, yo, I wonder if it's because I didn't have them speak at my wedding.
Mm,
Like, like you find some stupid things to try and find a
right.
reason why they're not,
Right.
coming around anymore. Why are they not talking to you? You know. So I mean, I'm just like, whatever, man. Like none of these guys helped me to be where I'm at today.
Mm-hmm.
It's vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
I help a lot of you guys to be where you are today, to get to a certain level. None of you all help me with my talent.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody helped me with nothing whatsoever. You know what I mean? They came around me because who I am
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. So I'm like, those whatever.
There's nothing, but there's also
I
nothing
don't
wrong with like
care.
mourning a friendship or,
Yeah.
friendships. But as well as also, I think we have to recognize that not everyone that we grow up with or have been
Mm,
friends for years will age with us. There's a season, a time and place. And sometimes in order for you to grow and reach that next level, you need to shed some layers, right? And
mm,
sometimes we pray to God about, like I want to unlock this next version of myself. And sometimes unlocking it means leaving some people behind because you have to be in rooms where you're not the best one and people are not
mm,
saying that you're the boss, you're this, you're that. You're in rooms where you're learning from other people that are bigger, that are
mm,
mature, that have more assets, that have more
mm,
wealth and more wealth in terms of like education, maturity,
mm,
as well as like,
mm.
assets as well. So I think it was
Yeah, it was. It was. I think
there's
it
time,
was
there's a
good.
time
Yeah,
and place
yeah.
for
You grow out of it, and they allow me to meet, like you
yes.
said, new people, more mature people
Mhm.
that make way more money than I do, people who their mind who encourage me to turn my money into more
Right.
money, stuff like that. So,
And that
um,
friendship served its purpose for the time when you needed that type of
mm.
friendship,
Yeah,
and it's
when
never
I was
no,
idle,
bad blood or
yeah,
anything. It's
yeah,
it's
when I
like
was,
we had fun while it lasted, good times,
mm,
but now everybody's in a different phase of life
yeah.
and no bad blood. But to end this episode, because I know you're gonna say, oh, you love to chat and blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
man. Yeah, chat. Yeah,
Um
man. I love chat, man.
what is one word you would use to describe me? And then I'm gonna describe
Hmm.
you.
I mean, I have a lot of words, and like the first thing that comes to mind, you know, I, uh,
Okay, give
it's,
two. Two.
yeah,
Let's do two.
'cause, all right. So for me, you're very strong. I see you as a very, very strong woman,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I tell you like a lot of things about you. Kind of, remind me of my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mom is very strong as well. And you are a very spiritual person. You can sit down in here and you can read the entire room, and you can sense, it's like you can read people vibe. You can just get what people are about. You can just say, yo,
Intuitive.
yeah, that person, yeah. So you know I think you're very spiritual and you're very strong woman,
My two words for you, first and foremost, is legendary. Second one would be resilient because no matter the adversity you faced in your career, the backlash, people saying just give up, this that you
Mm-hmm.
always kept going, and no matter even if you were half an athlete showing up with an injury, you would still show up, and even when you had the whole country on your back at one point in time, just doing it by yourself, you still showed up through the ups, the downs. Regardless, you're a resilient
Mm-hmm.
legend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That
man. think I'm like that. I realize over time that people memory short. People memory very short, but I don't really put that on my mind.
Yeah, for sure. Because I
Mm,
mean, you've made your mark and it'll always be there. No
mm,
matter how short their memory is in the history books, it's written. And I always say, who God has blessed, no man can curse. It's written and they can't undo that. So
mm.
we'll
It's a
end
vibe.
off.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
We will end off this episode and you do your thing because I tried to copy the whole
Mm.
don't miss a beat thing and I
All
don't have
right.
the deep
All right, all
voice.
right, all right. Yeah, guys, be sure to follow us. I'm not going to say Spotify again. I'm going to
Yeah,
say
last time he says
Spotify. I said
Spotifyer. I was
Spotify. I
like,
don't
what
know
is
where I got that
that?
from. I think I was just too excited.
No, you were actually too nervous because it was like a
Oh,
whole
the
sex
nerves,
talk,
the
and
nerves, the nerves. Yeah, guys, follow us on Spotify and
Mhm.
Apple.
Yeah, and I mean wherever they can get
Mm.
their podcast
Yeah,
from.
man. And guess what, guys? Don't miss a beat.
Boom.
Yeah, man, we're done.